Alright everybody, after a lot of research you guys, I've decided that I'm actually tired of Homo sapiens. Like, I'm so disappointed with humanity as a whole. Okay, we got a whole new space, whole new everything because I gotta get out of my room for a little bit, okay? Just living my life, I've realized how disappointing humans are. Like, I'm actually thoroughly disappointed with humans. Like, y'all, just look at us. Everywhere you go, everybody's just trying to get famous. Everybody's just chasing happiness so much. You know, they think being rich and famous is gonna make them happy. Meanwhile, you look at all these celebrities and, you know, they are happy. It's a whole new ball game of stress. You see these kids, oh, I could go off. I got plenty of tea and stuff we could talk about with my town. One boy group out here, they have 50,000 followers on TikTok and they just push it in your face and they just use it for clout. When I'm like, if that was me, I would have been talking about stuff to better humanity. That's another thing is, everybody's so selfish. Everybody just wants to better themselves, but nobody really wants to better the world. It's like, I look at humans, we're supposed to be an ant colony, right? All the ants are there to protect the queen and better the colony. They will all fight to protect the colony and they'll even give up themselves just to better the colony. Humans are not like that. Humans are so selfish. Saying hi to neighbors, that's as far as we'll go. Say hi to the neighbors and stuff like that. Meanwhile, if we saw somebody getting robbed, people will be like, oh, at least it's not me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's another thing too. If we really had the proper education system and really had the proper empathy, courage, there would be zero crime, zero. If the government really cared about us, there would be free healthcare, only organic food, you know what I'm saying, non-GMO, you know, there would be only green energy. But if they could profit off of oil and people, you know, being sick and unhealthy, then they'll do that, you know what I'm saying? If they could hide the fact that aliens are real to keep us working for money and peace and to hide all their lies, they will do so. As humans, I'm thoroughly disappointed. It could get better, you know, there are some really genuinely good humans out there, but a lot of them, they end up getting corrupted by either like power or, you know, they get corrupted by so much negativity. I see so many kids, especially in my town, because my town's just known for the drug dealers, the racism, all that stuff. You say Caledonia and everybody's like, oh shh, oh shh. Everybody gets scared. So, and nobody wants to come around here. Grade 6s are smoking weed at the corner and they go, hey Vinny, and I'm like they're really just smoking weed in the corner. And I'm like, bro, you're in grade 6. Like, that's gonna mash up your brain. And they're like, oh, well, it's fun. You know, grade 6, I really was still playing Barbie doll. I had a stuffed mermaid that I hid behind the couch because I didn't want my dad to see it. And you already know, I would take it like this with it. And then when my dad come home, I'd be like, shoot. That was the, you know, the young days. Now kids are just, they're smoking, playing video games. Nothing wrong with video games because I love me some video games. But nobody wants to read. Nobody wants to understand this planet overall. Nobody wants to understand why we're here. You see, it's the same thing. Work home, take care of kids, you know, go to school, you get a job, you have a family, and then you dead off. Like, it's so, you guys see, it's a system, and you know, they want us to keep working in order to keep their, you know, system going. You know, I say the Matrix, but it's the truth. Everybody chases fame and popularity. Meanwhile, that's not what makes you happy. What makes you happy is true connection, is love. If the government really cared about us, they would use their power for good. You know, there'd be unity. There would be reparations. You know what I'm saying? But instead, you see one race enslaving another race, and then that race living in pain and chains for 400 years. The true history is not even taught, and instead, that race is taught, oh yeah, you guys were slaves and you guys were in pain for 400 years, which is literally in our DNA now, but they don't teach before they enslaved us. They called us the sun people, and they said there were dark-skinned people floating in golden boats across the sea to trade with Native Americans. Meanwhile, they don't teach you that. They teach you Columbus discovered America. You know, I used to be a Pan-Africanist too. I used to be, you know, everything is, you know, black, you know, black power. I'm still black power guy, you know, I'm still like, yes, you know, I still want reparations, because how can we be a society that's together and unified if white supremacy is still around and there's no payback for all the enslavement we went through? There's still systemic oppression. You know, we were put in the ghettos and they call us ghetto and uneducated. Meanwhile, they put guns and drugs in our neighborhoods and said, look what those black people are doing. They told us, go make your own places. And we said, okay. They had their own economy, you know what I'm saying? The white people said, we can't have that. And they found an excuse to literally drop bombs on them and destroy the whole community, killing thousands of people. People really still think that Africa's poor. And I'm like, 50% of all the resources everybody uses in the world is from Africa. They're being exploited. Nobody tells you that there was a thing that they gave Africans to stop something. I forget what it was. They end up sterilizing millions and millions of women. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just disappointing. These people really just want to depopulate the earth when I'm like, okay, start with you first. You want to depopulate the earth, let's start with you. You know what I'm saying? We should be embracing everybody, but everybody's so selfish. You know, like I was saying, I'm still black power because life has been unfair for people with melanated skin. But I am really drawn and hoping that people start to come together. So I'm looking at everybody coming together, you know, because as the planet, we need to come together as a whole people so that we can just explore the solar system. Like, we are not even a class 1 civilization, meaning we haven't even perfected our own planet. There's aliens out there that are way past class 4, going to class 5 and 6. So anything on our planet we haven't even perfected yet. Meanwhile, we could have perfected it, but people choose not to. The government and everybody chooses not to because of capitalism. They want to get money. If they can benefit off of us being unhealthy, ignorant to who we are, and separated and divided, then they will. If they could make sure that African doesn't rise up and fight back against the oppressor that's still oppressing them, you know, they'll do it. If they can benefit off of the African, they do that in order to get money, to take the resources. They're doing it now because they could get money off of racism toward black people. This is why I'm disappointed with Homo sapiens, because we have literally destroyed so much. We are disconnected from each other. Nobody's focused on the planet. We aren't an ant colony. We're literally just people fighting each other. But if the government can make money, they will do so off of our division. All they have to do is say, yes, aliens are real and we're gonna connect with them. Okay, yes, organic is healthier, free healthcare, you know, we don't need money. We really could have been thriving, but it's capitalism, it's money. Disappointed with humanity and Homo sapiens, period. It's power, because power corrupts people. So you see people, as soon as they get famous on TikTok, they push it in people's faces. They don't make content because they like making content. They make content because it gives them clout. You know what I'm saying? It makes them money. People need to start making content to better humanity instead of, you know, gaining fame. Anything they could do to get clout, they will do. Because that's one thing I didn't have in high school too, was people helping each other. Everybody was bullying one another to get on top. If they saw you getting high, then they would talk bad about you to prevent people from being your friend. It's too much. The whole wheel of everybody is selfishness. The whole thing is selfishness. If everybody was selfless, the planet would have been a whole different place. Peace to all you guys. I hope you guys learned something today, because I'm definitely learning a lot just watching the world. Quit being so selfish so that we could actually move along with our lives, okay? How do I even end this video? Peace, and I'll see y'all later.